Hi, Tracy's Kitchen and Appalachian Adventures. I'm going to add something, add one more word about the weighty issues. Now, what we got to be truthful. We got to face the truth, and we got to be truthful. And the truth is that it's easier to operate on people the slimmer they are. It is hard for doctors to operate on an obese person with the exception of a gastric bypass, if they're doing a gastric bypass. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about regular operations like gallstones, kidney stones, hip replacements, all that, blah, blah, blah. An obese person is more challenging to operate on than a slimmer person. I guess because they have to cut through all that fat. Okay? But a lot of people, obese people, who have been operated on, I'm not talking about gastric bypass, I'm talking about other operations, they haven't learned a thing. They go back to eating the way they used to eat. They go back to eating pizzas. They go back to eating biscuits with honey, biscuits with gravy, sausage with gravy, grits with gravy. They go back to eating it. Even though the doctor just had a hard time operating on them and cutting through that fat. And they're actually harder for the nurses to take care of. They're actually harder. Sometimes an obese person, they have to have 6 people to move them from the stretcher to the bed. And they have to have 2 or 3 beefy looking orderlies to even lift them. Okay, just to even lift them off their bed, to get them into a better position, or to help them move from the stretcher to the bed. And they're hard to take care of. It's almost impossible. I mean, without going into a lot of detail, it's a struggle just to get them to go from their bed to the bathroom. It's a struggle. So I guess some nurses just say, look, just use the bedpan or whatever. But obese people, we never learn. They don't learn their lessons. They don't. Never learn. They go back to eating pizza and almond cakes, birthday cakes, and all that. Even though the doctor had a hard time, the nurses had a hard time taking care of them. The doctor had a hard time operating on. They go back to their same old lifestyle. Now, my opinion is that when a person's over 50, they should probably eat no more than 600 calories a day. That is what my opinion is. And I would think as you get older, once you're in your 50s and then you approach the 60s and 70s, that amount of calories decreases to maybe 400 or 500 calories a day. And then when you come towards the end of life, if you make it to your 80s, you went down to about 200 calories a day, I would think, if you want to be in optimum health. Because your body is 70, 80 years old and cannot digest all that food that you're eating. So I would think, when you get in your 70s and 80s, you're talking about 200 to 300 calories a day, maximum. And that's going to be light food. Maybe a little bit of rice, a little bit of corn, and an apple. That's going to be really light, easy to digest food. I think from ages 40 to 50, it's about 800 calories a day. From 20 to 40, 1,000 calories. Now, when you're a child from ages, 5 to 18 or 19, 50, I'll say 1,500 calories a day. But see, that's because at that age, they're very active. They're always playing volleyball, playing football, doing this, doing that. So they need about 1,500 calories a day. But like I said, between 20 and 40, I would say 1,000. Okay, because that's, for women, that's the childbearing years. 40 to 50, 800. I wish somebody had told me that. From 50 to 60, 600 calories a day, max. 60 to 70, on up to the 80s, 4,500 calories a day. 400 to 500 calories. That's all you need. That's all your body can stand. That's what my opinion is. But you know what? I do see a lot of obese senior citizens in the store. They struggle. They have to get on wheelchairs, especially made chairs, to get them from point A to point B. I see a whole lot of them in the stores. A lot of obese senior citizens that really have a hard time. But that's my other word on the weighty issues. Have a nice day.